Dawn breaks over the African savanna, painting the horizon in hues of amber and rose. The land stretches endlessly, a living tapestry of golden grasses, scattered acacia trees, and distant rolling hills. Here the air shimmers with heat, and every blade of grass is shaped by the rhythm of the seasons. The river, a broad ribbon of life, winds through this vast wilderness. Its waters glint in the morning light, nourishing the land and sustaining countless forms of life. Along its banks, lush vegetation flourishes. Reeds, papyrus, and water lilies create a vibrant green border between land and water. Here, life is governed by ancient rhythms of heat and thirst, of hunger and survival. Herds of antelope graze in the distance, while birds wheel overhead, their calls echoing across the open plain. The river is a lifeline, drawing animals from miles around to drink, feed, and find refuge. Along the banks of this slow-moving river, a mother hippopotamus rests, her massive form blending with the muddy shallows. Her immense body, a mountain of grey hide, lies half-submerged in the cool, life-giving mud. Tiny fish dart around her, feeding on algae and parasites that cling to her skin. The hippo's skin glistens in the dappled sunlight, kept moist and protected by the river's embrace. Her nostrils flare above the surface, ever alert, while her ears flick away persistent insects. Beside her, nestled in the curve of her protective bulk, is her newborn calf. Its delicate skin is a softer shade of grey, and its eyes blink curiously at the world. The calf nuzzles close, learning to swim and breathe in the safety of its mother's shadow. Occasionally it surfaces for air, its tiny ears twitching at the sounds of the river. It is a world of momentary peace, a fragile sanctuary from the relentless demands of the wild. The river's gentle current rocks the pair, soothing and protective. All around them life thrives. Fish flash beneath the surface, while dragonflies skim the water. Birds perch on the backs of hippos, plucking insects and singing in the morning sun. The calf, a perfect miniature of its mother, twitches its ears as it dozes. Its breathing is slow and steady, safe for now in this watery cradle. For now it knows nothing of the dangers that lurk just beyond the river's edge. Here, in the embrace of the river and its mother, the calf's world is one of gentle beginnings and quiet wonder. The savanna, bathed in golden light, appears tranquil at first glance. But beneath this calm, every blade of grass hides a story of survival. In the tall, swaying grasses, a shadow glides with silent intent. It is the leopard, Africa's elusive master of stealth, a solitary hunter whose every movement is calculated and precise. The leopard's rosette-patterned coat blends seamlessly with the dappled sunlight and shifting shadows, rendering it nearly invisible to both prey and rival predators. Every muscle is poised, every step measured. The leopard's golden eyes scan the landscape, searching for the faintest sign of vulnerability, a flicker of movement, a careless sound. In this world, stealth is survival. The savanna's food chain is a delicate balance where the hunter's success means life, and a single mistake can mean death. The leopard pauses, senses heightened. It detects the faint scent of hippos on the breeze. There, just beyond the reeds, a mother hippo and her tiny calf rest, exposed and vulnerable at the river's edge. The predator lowers its body, muscles coiled like springs. Every instinct tells it this is a dangerous gamble. An adult hippo is a force of nature. Few dare challenge one. Yet the calf is small, and the mother's eyes are closed in sleep. The promise of an easy meal is a powerful lure, tempting the leopard to risk everything for a chance at survival. In the savanna, every creature plays its part in the endless cycle of life and death. The leopard's hunger, the hippo's vigilance, the ever-present threat. This is the drama that unfolds each day beneath the African sun. Just as the leopard coils its muscles to pounce, a subtle shift ripples through the air. Deep within the mother hippo, ancient instincts flare to life, an unspoken alarm, honed by generations of survival. Her nostrils flare, catching the faintest scent of danger, and her ears twitch, attuned to the softest rustle in the grass. In the wild, such signals are the difference between life and death. Her eyes snap open, wide and unblinking. There is no hesitation, no confusion, only the razor-sharp awareness of a mother defending her young. She emits a low, resonant grunt, a warning that vibrates through the water and signals her readiness to defend. This vocalization, though simple to our ears, is a powerful message in the language of Hippos, a declaration of territory and intent. In an instant, the peaceful giant transforms. Her massive body surges upward, sending ripples across the river's surface. The leopard, caught off guard, locks eyes with the hippo, a silent exchange of primal intent. Both animals communicate through posture and gaze, each reading the other's next move in a dance as old as the savanna itself. A thunderous growl erupts from the mother's chest, echoing across the river. This is more than a threat, it is a display of power, a signal to the leopard and any nearby rivals. Scientists call this agonistic behavior, a ritualized show of aggression meant to avoid actual combat, yet fully capable of turning deadly if the warning is ignored. With astonishing speed, the mother hippo lunges forward, her jaws gaping to reveal enormous dagger-like teeth. The leopard, recognizing the escalation, flattens its ears and hisses, a universal sign of fear and warning among big cats. For a moment, predator and prey are locked in a standoff, each broadcasting intent through body language and sound. The mother does not hesitate. With a guttural roar, she surges from the water, her bulk moving with surprising agility. The leopard, faced with overwhelming force, abandons its ambush and melts into the tall grass. The hippo's charge is a textbook example of defensive aggression, an instinctive response that ensures the safety of her calf. Adult hippos can reach speeds of up to 30 kilometers per hour on land, a fact that surprises many. The leopard, built for stealth and speed, is forced into a hasty retreat, its tail flicking in agitation. Both animals rely on a complex mix of signals, vocal, visual and chemical, to navigate these high-stakes encounters. Only when the threat has vanished does the mother hippo return to her calf. She nudges the young one gently, guiding it back toward the safety of the water. This tender gesture is more than instinct. It is a form of nonverbal communication, reinforcing the bond between mother and offspring. In the wild, such bonds are the foundation of survival. The leopard is just one of many dangers that hippos must navigate in their complex world. The African river is a stage for constant drama where every creature must be vigilant. While few predators would dare attack a full-grown hippo, the young, the old and the solitary are perpetually at risk. Calves must remain close to their mothers, for danger can come from any direction. The riverbank is a crossroads for giants. Elephants, towering and powerful, often share these waters with hippos. Their encounters are fraught with tension as both species compete for space and resources. A herd of elephants determined to drink or bathe will often march directly into the river, showing little regard for the resident hippos. Sometimes these meetings end in uneasy truce, other times in displays of dominance. Beneath the water's surface, another ancient predator lurks. The Nile crocodile, with armored scales and powerful jaws. Crocodiles are ever watchful, waiting for a moment of vulnerability. A crocodile can wait with infinite patience, hidden in the murky depths. If a hippo calf strays too far from the pod, the crocodile can strike with lethal speed, vanishing as quickly as it appeared, even among their own kind. Hippos face constant challenges. Bulls are intensely territorial, and rival males will clash in brutal battles, their immense jaws and tusks inflicting terrible wounds. The river itself is a living tapestry teeming with life. Fish dart through the reeds, birds swoop overhead, and turtles bask on sunlit rocks. Each species plays a role in this intricate ecosystem. Hippos are keystone species, shaping the river's environment. Their movements stir up the riverbed, and their dung nourishes countless organisms, fueling the cycle of life for creatures great and small. In this world of titans and terrors, survival depends on strength, awareness, and the delicate balance of nature. Every day, the river's residents must navigate a landscape shaped by both cooperation and conflict. In the heart of the river, Hippos gather in close-knit groups known as pods. These communities are the cornerstone of hippo life, offering protection, companionship, and a sense of belonging. Each pod is ruled by a dominant bull who maintains order and defends the group from intruders. Females and their calves cluster together, forming strong social bonds that last a lifetime. Life in the pod is a constant exchange of signals and sounds. Hippos communicate through a remarkable range of vocalizations, deep grunts, wheezes, and bellows that echo across the water. These calls help maintain group cohesion, warn of danger, and reinforce social hierarchies. Calves are the heart of the pod, watched over not only by their mothers but by the entire group. When danger threatens, adults form a living barrier, encircling the young to shield them from harm. This collective defense is a powerful deterrent to predators. Within the pod, social interactions are constant. Hippos greet each other with gentle nudges and snorts, reaffirming bonds and establishing trust. Even the dominant bull, though fierce in defense, participates in these daily rituals of connection. Play is a vital part of pod life, especially for the young. Calves chase each other through the shallows, mock fighting and splashing under the watchful eyes of their elders. These playful bouts are more than simple fun. They are lessons in strength, coordination, and the social rules of hippo society. Through observation and imitation, young hippos learn how to navigate the complex world of the river. They watch the adults for cues on when to submerge, how to communicate, and how to respond to threats. The pod is both a sanctuary and a school, shaping each new generation. In the golden light of evening, the pod drifts together, a living tapestry of strength and unity. Here, in the embrace of the group, each hippo finds safety, purpose, and the promise of another day on the river. The river is not merely a home for hippos. It is the lifeblood of a vast, intricate ecosystem. Here, every ripple and current supports a tapestry of life, from the smallest insect to the largest mammal. Hippos, with their immense presence, are true keystone species, shaping the very character of the river and all who depend on it. Each day, hippos deposit vast quantities of nutrient-rich dung into the water. This organic matter is quickly broken down by bacteria and microorganisms, fueling explosive growth of algae and aquatic plants. These primary producers form the base of the river's food web, supporting countless species in a continuous cycle of energy and renewal. Swarms of fish thrive in these nutrient-rich waters, feeding on both the algae and the tiny invertebrates that flourish on the hippo's skin. Some species, like the African cichlid, even graze directly on the hippos, cleaning away parasites in a remarkable display of symbiosis. Above the water, oxpecker birds perch on the backs of hippos, foraging for ticks, flies, and other parasites. This mutualistic relationship benefits both. The birds gain food while the hippos enjoy relief from pests. The river teems with life at every level. Dragonflies skim the surface, frogs chorus from the reeds, and herons stalk the shallows. All are drawn to the abundance created by the hippo's presence, each species playing its part in the river's endless cycle of give and take. Every creature, from the tiniest insect to the mightiest hippo, is bound together in a web of interdependence. The river's nutrient cycles, shaped by the hippos, sustain a living tapestry, one that has evolved over millennia and continues to pulse with life. In the wild, beauty and brutality are inseparable. The river's gentle surface hides a world where every life is hard-won, and every day is a test of endurance. For the hippo calf, each sunrise brings a gauntlet of dangers. Predators lurking in the reeds, the threat of crocodiles beneath the water, and the ever-present risk of separation from the pod. From the moment it is born, a calf is vulnerable. Even the watchful eyes of its mother and the protection of the pod cannot shield it from every peril. A single misstep, a moment's distraction and tragedy can strike with devastating speed. Sometimes the river claims a young life. The sight of a lifeless calf drifting in the current is a stark reminder of nature's indifference. Yet, in this ecosystem, nothing is wasted. The body becomes sustenance for crocodiles, fish and scavengers, life feeding life, in a cycle as old as the river itself. The loss is not only physical. Scientists have observed that hippos, like elephants and some other mammals, display signs of grief. A mother may linger beside her dead calf for days, nudging it gently, refusing to leave. Her mournful bellows echo across the water, a raw expression of animal emotion that transcends words. But even in the face of loss, life must go on. The needs of survival are relentless. Over time, the mother rejoins her pod, her grief softened but not erased. Adaptation is the law of the wild. Each animal must find the strength to continue, to nurture the next generation, and to endure the river's endless trials. The African savanna stretches endlessly beneath a sky painted with the colors of dawn and dusk. Here, golden grasses ripple in the wind, and ancient trees stand as silent witnesses to the drama of life and death. This is a land of breathtaking beauty where every sunrise brings hope and every sunset marks the survival of another day. Yet beneath this beauty lies a world shaped by struggle. The river, winding through the heart of the savanna, is both sanctuary and battleground. Hippos, colossal and powerful, glide through its waters, their lives entwined with the fate of countless other creatures. The story of the mother hippo and her calf is echoed across the plains. Each pod is a family, bound by instinct and necessity, facing the ever-present threats of predators and drought. Calves cling to their mothers, learning the ways of the water and the wisdom of survival. Around them, the savanna teems with life. Herds of zebra and wildebeest graze under the watchful eyes of lions. Elephants wander the riverbanks, and flocks of birds rise in swirling clouds. Every creature, great and small, is part of this intricate tapestry. For all its harshness, the wild is not devoid of hope. It is a place of resilience where life persists against the odds. The river's flow is a promise that after every hardship, renewal will come. The hippos endure generation after generation, their presence shaping the very ecosystem they inhabit. We see the strength of nature in the mother's fierce protection, in the calf's first uncertain steps, and in the unity of the pod. Each act of survival is a defiant stand against the forces of oblivion, a testament to the enduring will to live. The river's life flows on, a continuous cycle of birth, struggle, and renewal. One calf may be lost, but another is born. The future of the hippos and of the savanna itself depends on this unbroken chain. As the sun dips below the horizon, the savanna glows with the promise of another day. The mother and her calf, having survived the trials of the wild, rest together in the cooling water, watched over by the ancient land. This is the true heartbeat of the wild, a steady, powerful pulse of life, love, and survival. In the endless rhythm of the savanna, the story of the hippos continues, echoing into the future as it has for millennia. As dawn breaks over the savanna, the hippos begin their daily rituals, guided by instincts honed over countless generations. By day, they linger in the cool embrace of the river, their massive forms nearly invisible beneath the surface. Only their eyes, ears, and nostrils break the water's calm, ever watchful for danger and opportunity alike. The morning is a time of calm. Calves nuzzle close to their mothers, practicing the art of floating and learning to navigate the gentle currents. Within the pod, subtle signals pass between individuals, a flick of the ear, a low grunt, a ripple across the water. These are the languages of kinship and caution, keeping the group united and alert. As the sun climbs higher, and the savanna's heat intensifies, the river becomes a stage for the hippo's most dramatic displays. Males, driven by the need to defend their territory, rise from the depths in sudden bursts. Their jaws open wide in silent threats, revealing cavernous mouths lined with formidable tusks. These displays, both awe-inspiring and intimidating, serve as warnings to rivals and affirmations of dominance within the pod. Occasionally a challenger approaches, and the water churns with the clash of titans, yet more often these encounters end with little more than a glare or a thunderous bellow. For the hippos, maintaining order is as vital as defending territory. The pod's harmony depends on it. As the golden light fades and shadows lengthen, the hippos prepare for their nightly migration. One by one they emerge from the river, their skin glistening in the twilight. The savanna becomes their dining hall as they move with surprising agility across the grasslands. Each adult consumes vast quantities of grass, up to 80 pounds in a single night, fueling the immense bodies that define their place in this ecosystem. Along the way, the hippo's presence shapes the lives of others. Fish dart in their wake, feeding on the nutrients stirred from the riverbed. Birds perch atop their backs, searching for insects and catching a ride through the shallows. Even the crocodile, the river's other great predator, gives the hippo a wide berth, mindful of its unpredictable strength. As the moon rises, the hippos return to the safety of the water, bellies full and bodies weary. The pod regroups, settling into the deep pools where they will rest until dawn calls them forth again. Thus, the rhythms of the river giants continue, each day a cycle of feeding, defending, and coexisting with the wild tapestry of the savanna. In these ancient routines, the hippos leave their mark, not only upon the land and water, but upon the very heart of the wild itself. As the river's song ebbs and flows with the turning of the seasons, the savanna transforms into a living mosaic of movement and adaptation. Across the vast grasslands, herds of wildebeest, zebra, and antelope begin their timeless migration, guided by ancient instincts toward greener pastures and life-giving water. The air hums with the thunder of hooves, a symphony of survival that echoes through the valleys and across the riverbanks. For the hippos, the shifting seasons bring both challenge and opportunity. During the wet months, the river swells, its banks overflowing to create new pools and channels. The hippos revel in this abundance, expanding their range to explore flooded plains and hidden lagoons. Calves play in the shallows, taking their first bold steps into a world temporarily transformed by rain. But as the dry season arrives, the river begins to shrink, its waters retreating into deep, isolated pools. Vegetation withers under the relentless sun, and the great herds move on in search of sustenance. The hippos, too, must adapt. Their gatherings grow denser as pods converge on the last remaining waterholes, forging uneasy truces and navigating the delicate balance between cooperation and competition. Within these shrinking sanctuaries, the hippo's resilience is tested. Tempers flare as space becomes scarce and the fight for territory intensifies. Yet, in the face of adversity, bonds within the pod grow stronger. Mothers shield their young, and alliances are formed to weather the hardship together. As the first storms of the new season break the drought, the river stirs to life once more. The hippos, guided by memory and instinct, return to their favored stretches of water. The savanna, too, is renewed, as returning herds fill the plains and the great migration resumes its endless cycle. In this ever-changing landscape, the hippos endure, their lives woven into the rhythm of migration and the pulse of the river. Through feast and famine, drought and plenty, they remain steadfast, guardians of the waterways and silent witnesses to the grand migrations that shape the heart of the wild. Beneath the river's shimmering surface lies a hidden realm, a world where sunlight dances in wavering ribbons and silence is broken only by the quiet pulse of life. Here the hippos are transformed from lumbering giants to graceful swimmers, moving with surprising agility through the cool, enveloping water. With each powerful push of their webbed feet, they glide silently along the sandy riverbed, eyes and nostrils sealed tight against the current. Their bodies, perfectly adapted for this aquatic life, are buoyed by the gentle embrace of the water, allowing them to move almost weightlessly. Calves, tucked close to their mothers, learn the art of submersion, surfacing for air with playful bursts before sinking once more into the safety of the depths. Communication flourishes in this submerged world, carried not by sight or scent, but by a symphony of sound. Hippos produce a chorus of grunts, clicks and bellows that ripple through the water, creating an underwater language all their own. These low-frequency calls travel far beyond what the ear can detect above the surface, connecting members of the pod even when visibility is low. Each vocalization serves a purpose, reassuring a calf, asserting dominance, or signaling alarm. Within this watery sanctuary, social bonds are strengthened. Adults rest side by side on the riverbed, exchanging gentle nudges and soft calls while calves dart between them, exploring the boundaries of their underwater home. In moments of tension, the water becomes a stage for displays of power. Open mouths and swirling currents a silent warning to rivals. As the river flows above, life continues unseen below, a delicate balance of movement, sound and connection. In the hidden depths, the hippo's world is one of mystery and mastery, their every motion a testament to the secrets that lie beneath the surface. The river, timeless and enduring, is not immune to change. Its gentle currents and fertile banks hide a delicate balance, one that is tested when the rhythms of nature shift. Seasons of drought arrive as silent adversaries. The sun beats down, relentless and unyielding, shrinking the river's expanse to a mere ribbon of muddy water. Pools that once teemed with life become crowded sanctuaries, forcing hippos to jostle for space in the dwindling depths. The air grows heavy with tension, every movement stirring clouds of silt as resources become scarce. Calves, once playful and bold, cling close to their mothers, their survival hanging by a fragile thread. Yet nature's trials are not always slow and silent. When the rains return, they come with a roar, transforming the river into a torrent of churning muddy water. Floods sweep across the landscape, submerging familiar haunts and scattering the pod. The once safe banks dissolve beneath the current, and the hippos must navigate a world remade by the water's fury. Youngsters are swept along in the surge, learning to cling to the safety of the pod, while adults form living barriers against the racing floodwaters. For the river's other inhabitants, these upheavals bring both opportunity and peril. Fish scatter to new pools, birds seek higher ground, and crocodiles lurk in unfamiliar eddies. The hippo's world is reshaped overnight, their routines rewritten by the river's unpredictable moods. Amidst these cycles of scarcity and abundance, the hippos endure. Their resilience is tested, their bonds forged ever stronger in the crucible of adversity. In every drought and every flood, the river writes its own story, one of survival, adaptation, and the enduring heart of the wild. Here in this ever-changing world, the hippos are both guardians and survivors, their fate entwined with the pulse of the river itself. Beneath the surface of competition, the river reveals a quieter truth. The hippo is not alone in its struggle for survival. Here alliances bloom in unexpected forms, weaving a web of symbiotic relationships that bind the fate of many creatures to that of the river giant. Perched atop broad backs and nestled among folds of thick skin, small birds play a vital role in the hippo's daily life. The oxpecker, with its sharp beak and keen eyes, is a constant companion. It dances along the hippo's hide, plucking parasites and dead skin, feasting on ticks and biting flies that would otherwise torment the colossal mammal. In return, the hippo offers sanctuary, a living island adrift on the river, safe from lurking predators and the threat of drowning. Below the water's surface, another partnership unfolds. Tiny fish, such as the cichlid, dart around the submerged bodies of resting hippos. Drawn by the promise of food, they nibble away at the algae and loose skin that cling to the hippo's hides. This underwater grooming not only cleanses the hippo, but also provides the fish with a reliable meal. Together, they maintain a balance that benefits both, one keeping clean, the other well fed. Even in the muddy waters, unexpected allies emerge. Frogs and turtles bask on the backs of hippos, using their floating forms as vantage points to hunt for insects or escape the reach of aquatic predators. In return, the hippo's movements stir the riverbed, unearthing food and creating microhabitats for smaller creatures to thrive. These quiet partnerships ripple outward. The hippo's dung, rich in nutrients, fertilizes the riverbanks and feeds countless insects and fish, sustaining the food web that nourishes otters, birds, and crocodiles alike. Every act, every movement forges invisible threads linking the hippo to the life that teems around it. In the river's crowded embrace, survival is not a solitary endeavor. It is a chorus of give and take, a network of alliances and exchanges, subtle and profound. Here the hippo is more than a solitary titan. It is a keystone, a living bridge between worlds above and below the water, sustaining and sustained by the vibrant tapestry of life that calls the river home. In the heart of the river, the story of the hippo begins anew with the gentle stirrings of life. Beneath the sheltering waters, a female seeks solitude, guided by instinct and the rhythm of the seasons. Here, away from the throng of the pod, she readies herself for one of nature's quiet miracles, a new generation waiting to surface. The journey starts with a courtship as old as the river itself. Males, massive and formidable, stake out their territory with powerful displays, mighty jaws agape, water churned by thunderous bellows. Rivals clash, their battles echoing across the floodplain, each vying for dominance and the right to mate. Victors earn more than glory. They secure the future of their lineage. When the time is right, the female and her chosen mate come together in the water's embrace. Their union is brief but vital, a secret kept beneath the ripples. For 8 months the mother carries her calf, nourished and protected by her formidable bulk. As birth approaches, she slips away from the pod, seeking the shallow edges of the river, her sanctuary. A newborn calf enters the world beneath the surface, instinctively swimming to the light. At birth it is small and vulnerable, yet perfectly adapted for aquatic life. Its first breath is drawn above the water, cradled by the gentle nudge of its mother's snout. Here, in the hush of early morning, the bond between mother and calf is sealed. For weeks the calf remains close, nestled against its mother's side, nursing underwater, learning to rise for air. The river is both cradle and classroom. Currents teach balance, shadows teach caution. Every day the calf grows stronger, watched over by the vigilant eyes of its mother and the protective circle of the pod. As months pass, the calf ventures farther, exploring the shallows and mimicking the adults, grazing on river grasses, wallowing in mud and joining the pod's nightly pilgrimages to the feeding grounds. Playful sparring with other younglings hones its strength and agility, laying the foundation for adulthood. Adolescence brings new challenges. Young males, restless and bold, test their might against elders, learning the art of dominance and submission. Females, guided by ancient memory, remain close to their mothers, inheriting the wisdom of the river. Years pass, the calf, once small and fragile, grows into a titan in its own right. Its journey is marked by triumph and hardship, by moments of peace and bursts of conflict. When the time comes, it too will seek a mate, and the cycle will begin again, an endless current flowing through the heart of the wild. From cradle to Colossus, the life of a hippo is a testament to resilience, connection, and the enduring pulse of the river. Each generation carries the legacy forward, shaping the world around them, ensuring that the river's giants will always rise with the dawn. The hippo, colossal and enigmatic, is more than a creature of brute strength. Its survival is written in the language of adaptation, a body forged by millennia to thrive in 2 worlds at once. Beneath the surface, hippos seem to vanish, yet their presence is felt in every ripple. Their massive bodies are buoyed by dense bones, anchoring them to the riverbed while allowing effortless movement through the water. Unlike other aquatic mammals, hippos cannot swim in the traditional sense. Instead, they push off the bottom, walking and bounding gracefully beneath the current. Their skin, thick and nearly hairless, is a living shield. Up to 2 inches deep in places, it guards against bites, scrapes, and the harsh sun. But this armor is not invincible. To stave off dehydration and sunburn, hippos secrete a remarkable substance, an oily reddish fluid often called blood sweat. This natural sunscreen is neither blood nor sweat, but a potent blend of acids that blocks ultraviolet rays and wards off infection, painting the hippo in hues of pink and orange as it glistens in the sun. A closer look reveals jaws built for dominance. Each opening of the mouth unveils a formidable array of teeth, incisors and canines that can grow longer than a man's forearm. These tusks, honed by constant grinding, are weapons and tools used in battle and display, while their molars crush tough grasses with ease. Even as they graze, the hippo's lips and tongue are adapted for underwater feeding, sealing tightly to prevent water from entering their mouths. Yet perhaps their most astonishing adaptation is their mastery of breath. Hippos can submerge for up to 5 minutes, nostrils and ears snapping shut to keep water at bay. Even as they sleep, a reflex brings them to the surface for air, an unconscious ballet, repeated again and again through the night. Their eyes, ears and nostrils perch atop their heads, allowing the rest of their bulk to remain hidden beneath the water's surface. With only these features exposed, hippos can scan their world for danger or opportunity, ever alert and ever present. Every facet of the hippo, its skin, teeth, and aquatic prowess, is a testament to nature's ingenuity. Armoured in adaptation, the river's giant endures, a masterpiece sculpted by the demands of land and water, forever at home in the shifting currents of its wild domain. As dawn breaks and the river breathes its morning mist, the hippo's presence is more than flesh and bone. It is a legend whispered among the animals of the wild. In the secret folklore of the river's denizens, the hippo is both guardian and enigma, a creature whose stories ripple through the reeds and echo beneath the water's surface. To the crocodile, the hippo is the ancient warden, a force to be respected, neither friend nor foe, but a neighbour who commands the shallows. Their silent truce is written in the language of posture and proximity, a flick of the ear, a widening of the jaws, the deep vibrations that pulse through the water. These signals are more than warnings. They are the river's unwritten rules, a code of peace and power that keeps chaos at bay. Fish dart in the hippo's shadow, drawn by the promise of safety. For them, the hippo is the gentle giant whose movements stir the riverbed, releasing silt and nutrients that feed the currents. The hippo's low rumbles and grunts, barely audible above the water, vibrate through the liquid world, marking territory and signalling presence. These sounds form a language all their own, a chorus that guides, warns and reassures, weaving the hippo's voice into the daily rhythm of river life. Birds nesting along the bank listen for the hippo's calls, attuned to their patterns. A sudden splash or sharp snort is a signal. The river's mood is shifting, and the wise watch closely. Even the shy antelope and the cautious terrapin know to heed the hippo's warnings. When the river giant bellows, its message is clear: danger or safety, feast or flight. Within the pod, communication is a tapestry of sound and gesture. Mothers hum softly to their calves beneath the surface, a lullaby carried by water. Dominant bulls assert their rule with thunderous bellows, while submissive gestures, a dip of the head, a slow retreat, preserve harmony within the group. Each movement, each sound, is a thread in the river's living folklore, a story told and retold in the language of animals. So, in the wild theatre of the river, the hippo is more than a creature of muscle and might. It is a legend, a storyteller whose voice shapes the very fabric of animal life. In every ripple and every call, the hippo's legacy endures, a myth, alive in the mist, forever woven into the folklore of the wild. As the sun climbs higher, casting golden ripples across the water, the river's pulse beats on, steady, ancient, but not untouched. In the heart of the wild, the hippo's legacy faces new trials, carried not only in the tales of the animals, but in the delicate balance of the river itself. The great pods drift through shifting channels, their numbers watched silently by every creature that shares their world. Once the riverbanks overflowed with the thunder of countless feet. Now the songs of the hippos echo more softly, each voice more precious than ever before. The antelope pauses at the water's edge, sensing the subtle change in the river's rhythm. Fewer giant shadows glide below the surface. The fish, once abundant in the stirred silt, must search further for the rich currents that only the hippos can create. The crocodile, ever patient, waits longer for the familiar tremors of a pod's approach. Every animal feels the difference. The birds, whose nests sway above the water, listen for the nightly chorus and find the silence growing longer between calls. The terrapin, basking in the sun, recalls the days when the riverbank bustled with life and the safety offered by the hippo's mighty presence was never in doubt. Yet the river is resilient, and the hippo's story is far from its end. Within the pod, new calves blink in the dappled light, learning the ancient ways of the water. Each birth is a promise, a hope that the river's guardians will endure, that their movements will continue to shape the ecosystem for generations of creatures yet to come. The river listens, holds its breath, and waits. For in every ripple, in every submerged lullaby, the future is written. The survival of the hippos is the survival of the river itself, a living chain that binds all who dwell within its embrace. As long as the hippo's call rises with the mist, the wild holds on to its ancient guardians, and the promise of balance endures beneath the surface, echoing toward tomorrow.